Ankit Aggarwal, founder and CEO of Unstop, to come on stage to give his presentation. Mr. Ankit, if you can come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Okay, so the earlier panel focused on education, and what I am trying to do is that can Unstop and I be your voice in the industry so that your students are more accepted, their skills and everything, and that's why I mentioned we are democratizing engagement and hiring. Our whole purpose at Unstop is that can we enable employers to go out, reach every student in India and hire the best rather than from the selected institutes. That's the whole gamut that we are right now eyeing for, right? So I'll make it more interactive. Can anybody tell me what this number stands for? 95 lakh. Anybody wants to give it a shot? Anyone? Correct. So this is as per the All India Student Higher Education Survey, right? These many students pass out every year. Correct? And more importantly, this is a much bigger number, which is 4 crore 10 lakh plus students are currently enrolled in higher education. But somehow, students are all not able to reach out to all the employers, and so are the employers are not able to reach out to all these students to engage and possibly hire them. Right? Can anybody guess what this number is? 50% of 4 crores? Any idea? These are total enrollments that occurs. And this is data coming straight from the government. And from the students who pass out at UG level, 52% are girls. These are staggering numbers, right? But still, when Walmart reached out to us that, hey, we wanted to hire 100 female coders, but we couldn't hire even 50 female coders as per what we wanted in terms of skill threshold from their selected institutes. That's where they thought that why are we restricting ourselves to select list of institutes? Why can't we go broad and open our doors to every female coder in India? And that is, ladies and gentlemen, is democratizing engagement and hiring. We got them 51,000 female coders registered from close to 800 plus colleges in India. Right? That's the kind of opportunity that Walmart was able to get. And in the end, imagine it's a win-win situation for both company as well as students as well as the colleges. Only because when they went through the whole process, which is nothing but a gamified version of their normal recruitment cycle, correct? MCQ, coding, and everything happens online. So pretty much whether an institute is in Delhi or maybe a tier 4, tier 5 town, you just need an internet connection to be eligible for this opportunity, right? And imagine they were only looking at recruiting 100, and out of 100 they recruited 50 from their selected institutes. They ended up recruiting 160 female coders pan-India, right? And what I want to show you is the names and the colleges from where they have recruited. It has tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, whatever tiers that you would want. Correct? And so much so that now they have done 3 or 4 such engagements and they want to now replicate this model in US. We are working with them to replicate the model that saw success in India elsewhere. Another example that was females, right? Now, let's talk about Flipkart. Flipkart, currently this engagement is live. It's called Grid. Imagine these are live numbers. As of today morning, 3,45,000 students have registered for this engagement from 7,000 colleges in India. and we are targeting still 8 days to go. We are targeting about 5 lakh students getting inroads to Flipkart, and Flipkart doesn't go to all the campuses. They only go to a selected list of 15 to 20 or maybe 25 campuses. This is the only way to get in, right? And this is their eligibility. It's very, very simple, correct? And what Flipkart wants to do is that even if they are not able to recruit, at least students get a sense, they get an experiential learning as to what it is like to be working for Flipkart. That's the idea, right? Sitting in any college, they need to know what skills they need to gain if they were to be hired by these companies and directly by engaging in those companies. Similarly, Amazon did it for management grads. A similar exercise that I talked about, correct? They want to open their doors to pretty much everyone. And Tata, on the other hand, did it for UG, which is arts, commerce, humanities, as well as engineering and MBA, all together, right? And these are the kind of challenges that we are ensuring that the companies open up. And that's why I say that Unstop can be your voice to the employers that, hey, recruit from any campus, any student, till the time that student has the skill that they need to excel in that job. Right? These are just some examples that I've showcased. At any point in time, we have close to 800 such brands working on Unstop to give these massive opportunities. Right? What we are trying to do, imagine, the basic essence and the basic pitch that we do is that every company starts signing the top talent. Right? But not every company can eye the talent from the top tier institutes, because not every company can give them those packages, can actually match their aspirations. So what we are trying to do is that we want to redefine top talent. We want to redefine it to the right talent, right? Can we connect the dots? Because if there is a company who can train people and who is looking at 60 to 70 percentiler, not a 90 percentiler, right? Can we connect the dots so that students get the right opportunities, companies get the right talent, and that's where the match happens, right? And on top of it, these are the companies that basically work exclusively with us for these engagements. And mind you, these are across industries. This is industry agnostic. Whether it is e-commerce, HUL, FMCGs, whether MBA, engineering, arts, commerce or so, there are numerous examples, right? And I call an engagement model like an unstoppable circle. See, it's a chicken and egg situation, very frankly, and all of you would know, correct? Recruiters needs to be there to get colleges and students, and recruiters also need reach. If they want to hire the best, they also need reach to all the students and all the colleges pan-India, right? But what they are really looking out for is skilled students, right? How do we solve for this problem? Let's say, how as educators, right, or administrators, how do you solve this problem? And I'll just give you a few things which are free. So all these engagements that I talked about, possibly I might be the only one here who may tell you that we are not here to make money from you. We are making money from employers, we are happy, right? So the first thing is that your students, when they are participating in all these engagements that I talked about, they are not giving us a single penny, neither are we asking you to pay us any single penny, right? On Unstop, they can actually go and browse through, and we have been speaking to many. Your students are already on Unstop, few of them, but not all, right? Can they be pushed? There are competitions, hackathon quizzes, which will enable them to be better at cracking a job if they don't have a job, right? So I'll give you one example. We are the only ones who are paid by all the premier institutes. So all IIMs, all 6 IIMs, we have paid engagements, and I take pride in telling you that we are the only ones who are paid by the IIMs to get their branding across. They don't pay anybody else, right? Why? Because in even IIM Ahmedabad, we have 99% penetration, which is 99 students out of 100 are using Unstop to create their scene. Because even if McKinsey or anybody is going at IIM Ahmedabad, the resumes are same. They're 99 percentile. So what is differentiating factor is the performance of those students in these engagements, right? Whether they have crossed to the finale or not, whether they have won that, whether they were runners up or not, those are the CV points because of which the premier institutes are hopping onto Unstop, and the non-premier institutes or the people where opportunities are now not there, they are hopping onto Unstop to at least get those opportunities, right? And all of this, correct? The second element is alumni sessions. You can rope in your alumni and get those sessions done for your students themselves, right? And alumni is the best connect, and I'm sure many of you would be already leveraging it, correct? Then student buddy programs. So what happens is that the people who have basically cracked some of the companies elsewhere, can they be buddies to the existing students? Some of it you might be doing, some of it you may not be, right? But you need to get that cracking, right? The other thing is practice. See, the one major aspect that we have basically seen, and again this is almost free, that your students can do is can they hop on to platforms like Unstop to practice their skills and make it better? Because these skills are, and again, no charges, right? Not even for students. They can actually practice 5 days company in. I mean, this was like taken from a movie, but essentially, can we prepare them to ensure that they get to know all the top companies, how to get inside, right? What is it that they're looking at? And all of this is scalable, right? Students can actually browse through, read through at any point in time. Then they can actually do a 100-day coding sprint. Can they start on day one, work with us, figure out what kind of coding they want to do, what not? And this is not only for coding, we are launching few elements which are non-coding. Let's say how a sales can be cracked by students, right? Or they can do marketing as well, correct? So all of this practice is basically free of cost. Now imagine the next one is very, very important. Mentorships from practitioners. Imagine that your students are eyeing ABC company, let's say Google or Amazon, correct? And you don't have anybody who has already been into those companies. Can they work on these platforms we have where they can actually block 30 minutes from a practitioner to know what it takes to be in that company, right? Or maybe to have their CV vetted, or maybe to have those mentorships, right? And this is the kind of profiles that we have on the platforms, and this is just one profile where it is up to the student to browse through. Any number of profiles they can select and they can sort of book those sessions. Again, this is nothing to do with you working on. This can either be done through you or students can do themselves. The idea is that let them connect the dots. We don't come into the picture. If a person is very, very eager to get into the top product companies, they can actually do all of this, and majority of that is free. The others are learn from practitioners. Again, we are not, purely into courses, right? But we have courses which make them placement ready, right? Prashasti talked about how Coursera can help overall in those courses that students can sort of take up themselves, or you can actually embed in your curriculum also, right? Can there be courses which can be taken up by students or by you and make them placement ready, right? And the idea is, the best thing, and I'm sorry if I'm crossing the line here, these courses that we are talking about are practitioner-led, right? If a digital marketing is being taught, can that be taught by a person from Google, which is the number one company dealing with digital marketing? If it is data science, can it be taught by OpenAI team or Meta? Correct? I think those are the differentiating pointers overall, and this is what I think you will have to crack to ensure that we are connecting the dots. It's very, very critical. At this point in time on Unstop, and this is basically very, very staggering, we have 5.6 million students, right? I'm sure in most of your campuses, if you ask, some of the students would already know about Unstop. We have done our math, the people who are coming here, we already have penetration, like in some of the campuses, more than 3,000 or 5,000 students are already on us. In few of the campuses, in my panel, which is coming next, there are about triple-digit numbers who have performed exceedingly well in these engagements. So it's not that you have to fresh start. Your students are there, but many other students may not know all of this, right? And that's it. And we have 130,000 open opportunities that we have done in last 2 years. This is the number of opportunities that we have been able to provide to students, right? So companies are working with us, colleges are working with us, students are working with us, and these are the only 3 stakeholders that we need to change the whole education system, and that's what we are trying. Thank you so much. I'm happy to answer any queries if you may have. Thank you.
Thanks, Ankit. I'll just request you to stay back for a second because we need to present you with a small token of appreciation. I request Professor Prabhat Ranjan, Vice Chancellor, DY Patil University, if you can come on stage, sir, for one second, hand over this to Ankit Aggarwal, founder and CEO of Unstop. That was Ankit Aggarwal, founder and CEO of Unstop. It's a brilliant